Senators in Washington are hearing from stakeholders as they consider creating some new regulations for paying college athletes. Many Republican lawmakers claim the current system allowing for name, image, and likeness payments is actually hurting the athletes. They claim these transfers mean some students do not graduate. Though Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy spoke out against much of the discussion. He says he's worried student athletes are not being paid what they're worth.
That seems to be the conversation we're having here, that these athletes, again, in the revenue-producing sports, are making too much money. So, to me, I think we are seeing what has essentially been an unconscionable exploitative effort to try to artificially limit the compensation that many of these athletes deserve.
Murphy says they should still get paid and suggested that athletes look into collective bargaining.